Hey guys, welcome to my CSS crash course. So guys, you will be learning about how to use CSS and many more things in that CSS. Okay, so you don't need to have any prior knowledge to get started with this course. Okay, and by the end of this course you will be able to design stunning and clean website. Okay, so guys, let's get started with it. So first step, you have to create one folder, and inside that folder we will create the file. Okay, so right now it's nothing is there, so let me just close and let's open this with the editor. So I have already one VS Code editor where I will open with that code, and here is my output, guys. So guys, now we are going to use this editor for it. So let's create one file into this, for example index.html. Done, and let's hit enter, and your file is created now. So let me just show you in my folder over here. So here is a folder, and you can see that folder index.html. And now let's open this with the help of Google Chrome. So let's open with Google Chrome, where you can see the output of it, index.html, your path. So let me just make it small and let's align with it. Okay, so now let's open the VS Code. So guys, this is our code. Done. So now let's just make it a little smaller so that we can work on it. Done. So let me just make it a little smaller. So guys, over here we will work. Done. So now just let me just type hello. So this is the basic output which you are getting, right? So now let's start with the HTML. So you have to have a basic knowledge of HTML so we can work on it. HTML and your head tag. Okay, and inside this title, where title will be called my website, and inside this, let me just minimize this bar, and now over here you will be designing the body. So let's type body body, tag end and close. Okay, and now inside this let's use the h1 tag. So we can tell hello world. Let's save this, and here is the output. So guys, now we have to do this designing for this. So now let's start with that. Let me just move it a little forward. Okay, now so first step of styling is like we can use inline CSS. So you need to do like styling about style is equal to, here only you can give. So let's give a color where I'm going to use that as red, red, semicolon, and let's just save this and reload this page. Okay, so you can see that this is one format of styling, but this is not the correct format. So I'll just explain you what type of CSS classes calls it. Okay, so now let's give a class for it. Class is equal to, where you're going to tell this as heading. Okay, heading. And now let's go into our head tag. Inside your head tag you have to design with that. Okay, so let's copy this, and now copy and go into your head tag where style. We have to open the style tag, and inside that style tag dot is the class. So you need to use a dot operator. So dot, that means which is assigning to the class, where open and close curly brace. Okay, so inside this we will type color is equal to, colon, where semicolon with the ending, then writing the CSS. So now let's save this and let's load the page. So you can see the output same. So let me just make it to blue, and here you can see it's assigned with the blue, right? And now guys, this is what the class. Okay, so let me just change to ID. So this ID class will be called by hashtag. So let's remove this dot and use a hash. Done. And now let's make it this as green. Okay, let's save this and reload. Cool. So you can see that the green color has come. So these are the inline CSS thing which we are doing, but this is not the correct format to do and get started with it. So now guys, let me just remove everything, and I'll just show you one shortcut method which VS Code provides. So let's type HTML, where 5 I'm going to click. So you'll get a ready-made thing. Okay, so now let's put this title as my website, and inside this we are going to get started with that h1 tag, which was hello world. And now guys, what you have to do, you have to use a link tag. Okay, so link tag, how will you use? for the CSS. So let's create one CSS file. So style.css. So this is a CSS, and now inside this, whatever you'll be coding, like we said that the class is heading, and inside this heading you're going to design with that. What will you say? We will choose with the color only, where I'm going to say brown, BROWN, brown. Give semicolon. Let's call this class and assign with this class. Done. And now let's reload. So it's not working. The brown color has not come. Why? Because you didn't link these two files. So how to link that? You have to use this link tag. Okay. So over here now your relation style sheet has come, where href is equal to, you have to call this path. So let me call that path forward, style.css. Save. So this is it's in the current directory, so we are moving with that. If you are keeping in any other folder, like for example CSS, this is your folder, and inside that CSS file you are moving that. Okay, so it's inside the folder, right? So let's go to our heading. Over here you have to call that CSS folder /style.css. Done. So now guys, let's refresh, and you can see that color has changed to brown. Now let me just change from brown to blue, and now let's refresh this. So let's just give refresh. So you can see that how we have linked that files. So guys, now we will start with the body tag. So let me just increase the size of it. Okay, so let's increase the size and let's divide this. Let me just separate these two pages and we will start the coding. So let me just minimize this over here. Okay, so we need this style.css in very little space, so not required much space. Okay, so now guys, as you see over here, so what is this body tag? So over this body tag we will copy directly. So let me just copy and paste over here. So right now we'll just keep this as reference. So let's mention that and use this body tag, right? So first step, inside this I'm going to use the background color. So let's type background color, where background color is equal to, I'm going to use F2. Okay, so this is a background color which I'm going to use. Now let's see the output for it. Let's refresh. So you can see a light background color. So till now it was white. Let me just comment this and see. So right now it's white, and if you go back and refresh, and let's see that it has changed to some grayish light. Okay, so guys, this is how we are working on it. So now, like, there are some padding and margin on this website. So for example, I'll just show with that what is the thing. So how can you set? You can just call with this asterisk symbol. Okay, so star symbol some guys say, and where you can tell margin colon is equal to 0, margin colon 0, and then again you have to change this to padding 0. Done. And now let's see what is the difference into it. Let's get back, reload. See, the space has gone on the above and the side thing. So everywhere it will go the space. So as simple. So if I comment and I'll just show you over here, saw the difference that the margin and padding, whatever you're getting, spaces at the top and left side. So those things you have to cover with this help of star thing. Done. Let's refresh. You can see the output. So guys, now let's get started with this. So right now we don't require this, so let's remove everything and let's start with the body. So inside body we will just take this background color and let's assign the color hash, where I will give 333, and if you require the font size also you can assign this. So anywhere it will apply. Okay, so this font size will be 16 pixel. We'll make it. That's it. Let's save it and you can check with that output. Done. And this margin which we assigned for that right above, so that margin will be assigned over here, and the padding also. So you can call in this format. Save and reload. So everything is working fine. So guys, now let's get started with the second part called the heading tags. So what are the type of heading and how can you set with that? So guys, this is a h1 tag, where let me just copy this and tell this as heading 1 and heading 2. Okay, heading 2, where I will call this as h2. Okay, so make sure you are giving that. And now guys, let's see with the output. So you can see heading 1 and heading 2, there are different sizes. So if you want to call this, you can call with that like h1 open bracket close, where you can set the font size of it. So how will you set this? So font size is equal to, where I'm going to use 24 pixels. So 24 pixels, let's save this, and you can see the output. So you can see that font size has become over here. So let's set a color. So as we saw in beginning, we can set the color directly. Let's keep it red, and now you can see the difference of color. Let's set the font weight. So guys, let's give font WEIGHT weight colon, where I'm going to check with that 400. Okay, so this will accept into 100, 200, 300, 400 till 900. Okay, so let's refresh and see. So right now it is this bold, so let me just refresh. You can see that the font weight has become less, and if you want to increase that, you can just give 800, and where it will be increased. So you can see the output as simple. So guys, let it be this as 800 only, and then you can move with the like text decoration and all, which will be added. So guys, now let's move on with that. How will you see that? So we'll move with the card design, where we will be talking about that in more detail. So let's create a card design for the changing. Okay, so guys, let me just remove this, and only the heading, which we are going to use h1. And guys, let us design a card. So for this, first we have to create one section. Okay, so let's create one section dot section. So how will you understand why this thing is going on? So you can see that if I give section dot section, your section class will be created. So guys, let's design this class for this. So I'm using this for the padding thing. Okay, so let's Control X and store over here this heading. So let's use this section. Let's copy that section, and let me just assign it at the top dot section, where I'm going to give padding hyphen top. Okay, so let me give as 16 pixel, not 16 pixel, we'll give as 40 pixel. Okay, let's give 20. So let's mention to padding bottom, and let's save this. And now guys, you can see that the difference. How will you feel that? So let me just reload the page. You can see that top and bottom, it has changed, right? So same way, how will you understand the difference? So let me just send you the background color. Let's give the background color as light gray. Save, and you can see the difference. So this is the padding top and bottom for the heading. So this section is containing, right? And now guys, what we want to give one container. So let's just make that into one center thing. Okay, so let's create with the container. Okay, so you can just assign with that. How will you assign that? So let's use one shortcut method so you can understand. So I'm going to create a class, so you have to give dot and tell container. Done. So you can understand that div thing is coming over here. So this is how the VS Code provides with the shortcut methods. Let's put that into this container. Done. And now I want this container to be width of 80%. So how will you set the size and all? So let's give that container where width is equal to 80%. Done. And then the margin I want to give, like, it should be in auto. So auto means both sides it will adjust and come. So let's save this and see the output. So let's reload. You can see that it's in center. So here 10 pixel it has taken and aligned in the center with the help of margin, and it is assigned in it. So you can see that the difference, right? So here is the output. So let's get back to VS Code, and now let us check with the card design. So how will you make a card? So in that card and all, we will get started with this as simple. So let's give .card card, where I am going to tell this as the, if you are going to use this bootstrap and all, so you will be finding all the classes are same. So let's design this card. So now how will you set this? So let's copy this card name and paste over here, and let's design this card. So first step, I will just teach you what are the border things inside this and how will you use that border top, bottom, right, left, and the background color things. So before getting started, let me just call this heading inside this card. Okay, let's refresh, save this, and now let's get started with this. So before getting started, I'll just show you the correct output. So we are on this. So I want to create one card design. So let's get back on this code and let's start with the coding. So as simple, I'm going to create one padding. So first let us give the padding, like want the side things. So let me just give padding 40 pixel, where inside that 40 pixel I'm going to give border top. You can assign the border directly also, like border 1 pixel, where I'm going to use solid, where you can assign the color with it. So let's assign 333, and now let me save this and I'll just show you the output of it. So let's save. Okay, so you can see that 40 pixels has come over here. So this is how you're getting the padding things. So let me just explain you the what about padding. So the padding comes in 4 format. For example, top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, so these are the 4 methods you can assign with that. So let me just make it little space. Okay, so you can see, right? Done. Let me just give. Okay, so you can understand that from top it is taken, and from side and bottom and left. So if you want to make that left over here, so this is the left, let me increase to 15 pixel, and this will be your right. So let's give 15 pixel. So this is the top, right, bottom, and left. So reload, so you can see that difference, little difference. So let me just make it to 20. Okay, 20, and let's refresh. You can see the difference. Cool. So guys, as you saw that values are same, so 20 20 I have given, so you may not understand what are the difference over here, right? So for that, let me just make this left side over here. Okay, so top, bottom, right, top, right, bottom, and left. So this left will add it one more thing, like 80 pixel. Okay, so let's save that, and you can see from here it will move till here. So you can see that it's coming over here. Cool. So this is how you move on with the left. So this is about the padding things. Done. And then border, as you saw, this is the border format. However, you increasing this. If you want to make it 2 pixel, let's increase the width, okay, of it. So now guys, there are many methods to design the border. So let me just comment with this, and let's create with the border hyphen top, where I will give this 2 pixel solid, where you can assign the color directly, or else you can call the border color. So let me just save with this. So once you click the solid, that will be default black color. Let's refresh. You can see the border top. And same way, let me go back to border. Let's copy and make it this as left, and then this to RIGHT, right. Let's save and see the output. So we can see this thing, right? So guys, now let's create a border bottom also with different style. So if you're required, you can create with the border bottom also. Let's save, and you can see the output border bottom. So I want this border bottom to be little different. So how will you do that? So let me just show with another demo. So let's comment this border bottom and create the border bottom for it. So let's give border bottom, where the border bottom will be, okay, we have to give the width. Let me just assign with the width. Border bottom width, I want 6 pixel. Okay, 6 pixel. Let this border bottom be, and for the border bottom, I want the design to be different. Okay, so let's give this border bottom style, and this style will be dashed. So this is a predefined by the HTML only. So we have to use this border bottom dashed or solid, or whatever your requirements are there according to it. You can just Google search about this, what are the border styles, so you can get a list of it. So let me just refresh. You can see that it is coming in this format. Cool. So this is how you set the design. Done. So guys, now we are focusing on the card. So let me just comment this. So this was the just introduction about how will you use the border things. So let's comment it, and let's use this border default one. Done. So let's comment and use this border. And now guys, let me just give a radius for it. So how will you give a radius? So let me just explain you with that also. Border radius colon, where I'm going to use 20 pixel. Okay, save, and you can assign that. Cool. So this is how you cross the border. Done. And now guys, in this card design, I wanted to make a box shadow inside this, and the background should be white. So let us give the first background color with this background color, where I'm going to call white color. So FFF, refresh, you can see the background color. And now guys, let's give the box shadow. Let's get back and let's assign that box hyphen shadow SHADOW. Shadow where 3 pixels from top, right, and then both side. And this is for your blurriness, 3 pixel, where I am going to use light gray, or else you can use gray only direct, or else white color. Okay, so let me just give a space for it. Save this, reload. You can see the box shadow, light box shadow. So let me just increase this one more thing. Let's make it 20. So you can see it's more giving box shadow. So this is the spreading. Let's increase this also to 8. Let's see, you can get the more darker thing. So this is how we set the box shadow, guys. And now let us move with the thing about heading tags. So before a heading tag, this padding is too much, so let us just decrease that from 80 to 20 itself. Let's load. Okay, done. So same way guys, and now let us continue with the heading tag. So let's move on, and over here heading we have given. Let's copy that heading thing and assign over here with the dot. So let's come over here and let refresh. Done. So guys, we will be learning about headings. So what are the things in headings you can do? So we have learned about this font size, color and weight, and how can you make the text decoration and none things. So guys, first thing I will just explain you with, start with the text decoration. So let's give text decoration where I am going to use underline. Okay, so there are many things, underline, dotted, dashed. So how will you find this result? So let's Control R, so you can see underline things under this heading. Run. And now let's use, I want to make this text full as uppercase. So let me use text transformation, where you can see uppercase will be there. Okay, so this uppercase will make all your small headings into your capital. So let's see the difference. So you can see the output over here. Done. So this has changed to capital, and I want to be the first letter to be capital and second letter also to be capital, and other things as small, or else make it to full small. So that 3 options I will show you now. So let's see on this text uppercase. So now let us keep this as a backup. Let me just comment, and let's change to lowercase. Okay, so LOWERCAS, lowercase. Save and load. So you can see that it has changed all to lower, and now I want to make capital. So before making capital, let's change this 1 to ONE1 over here, and now let's make it capitalize. So let us also keep this for backup for old reference and make it to capitalize. Okay, capitalize, and this code will be explaining you the things about it. So H is capital, O is capital. So why it is capital? You have kept this H as capital, right? So let me just change this. H is small and O is small. Now I have saved this with the small things. So then too you can see with the capital only. So this is the advantage of using it. So guys, then we will move on with the text styling. Okay, so you can call that as font style. Call as font style colon, where I am going to tell as italic. Save it, and now let's see that italic font. So it is straight standing, right? So let me just refresh. You can see the heading has crossed. And now guys, this is too close, so let's make it little far. So that is called as letter spacing. So let us use letter spacing, where I am going to use this letter spacing as 0.2 em. Okay, you can use by pixels allow, rem also, and em also. So most of them for letter space we use em only. Okay, so let me just give refresh so you can see the difference of it, right? And now we are going to check with the font weight also. We have completed. So guys, we will move on with font family. Okay, so how will you change with that things? So let me just use Tahoma. Okay, so this is one font family for Tahoma which is provided. So let's refresh and you can see the heading style has changed. So you can utilize the font family also. Done. So guys, this is all about our heading tags. Okay, so these are the few basic CSS which we can use in our heading. So guys, now let's start with the p tag. Okay, so p tag is nothing but our paragraph tag where we will be adding. Okay, so let me just take one dummy content from the Lorem Ipsum website and let me add this few lines of it into the code. Okay, and now guys, you can see that few contents are there into this. So let me just arrange that. Okay, and now let us just see the output of it. Let's get back and here, so we're reloaded. So guys, now what we have to do, let us see what are the things we can do in this paragraph tags. So it's like little messy and it is two line height is little more. Okay, so we want to make it very clear. So guys, let's use that things. So let's call this p tag. So inside this directly you can call the p tag over here. Let's just me show you with the demo. So directly you can call the p tag, and first let the font size where I want to make it 16 pixel to look bigger. And now inside the 16 font size, and let's see the output of it. Okay, defaultly it is 16, and now let us make it to 18. Save. You can see the size has increased. Let's give one font weight, little font weight. So let me just type that font weight which is 700 will give. Let's reload. So you can see that weightness has increased, but it was looking fine before only. So let me just give 500. You can see the default. Okay, so guys, now we are going to add the letter line height for this. So let me just check with the line height. Let's get back and add a line height, line line height. So this line height will work with the things. So we'll add 0.3 em. Okay, so let's save, reload. You can see that it is messed up because that is very less. So let us add just 1 em and see there are spaces, right? So this is how we work with it. So let me give 2 em. So you can see with that there are more spaces. So same way you can work with rem also and pixel also. Okay, so this is the few things which you can use. So let's move with the em only, because for letter spacing, line height and all we use most of the time em only. Okay, so let's make it to 1.2 em and reload. Okay, this is fine. So guys, now little letter spacing and all which we have learned from here only, you can just take that and paste it over here, and let's make it to 0.1. Save. You can see the spaces. So guys, we don't require, for just for demo I have kept it. So this is all about our p tag. So guys, now let's get started with the a tag. So what is a tag? A tag is nothing but our href thing, where I will just give a link as read more. Okay, and this link will be somewhere redirect. So let's just give a hashtag, or else just use one not symbol so it should not move to top. Okay, and let's give a class for this, and you can mention this as one button. Okay, so let's call this as button button, and this button we are giving a class. So before giving a class, let me just explain with the tag. So we will make later on the button. So first let us call this tag over here. So let's call a tag, and now inside this a tag we are going to design. So let's see the output of default a tag, how it looks. Okay, so I have loaded the page. So you can see guys, a very small read more button with the underline, and it is blue color. So let's remove the underline and blue color to some unique color and things about it. So let's get started with that. So first step, I'm going to add one text decoration. So I want to remove that underline. So let's text decoration none, and then second wise we'll add one color called green. So or else you can add a color called orange. And then the font style, I want to make it font style which will be normal only, you can assign or else ignore that. And what about the font weight? If you want, you can add that, and let's save and see the output. So let us just save and check the output. Cool. So you can see that it is coming in orange, but it's not visible. So let's make it to some other color called #333, which is black color. Okay, and let's increase the size. Increase the size of it. Font size, I want to make it to 16 pixel. Save and refresh. Okay, so it's still 16 only. Let me make it to 18. Come here and reload. Okay, so guys, you can see that read more, it's there, right? So now if I hover, it should change the color. Okay, so it's changing actually. It's from black to blue, it's coming. So let's make it to orange so we can understand very clearly. So let's give a tag : hover. Okay, and this hover, we are going to only change the color, so you can just add the color called orange, 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 and give semicolon. Let's refresh, Control R. On the hover, it's changing the color. Cool. So this is how we set with the hover effect. And now guys, we will just give one more simple difference about the focus. So if I click on this, it should load like that. Okay, so let me just give hashtag, remove that not, and let's refresh. Okay, so you can see that when I click in on hover and move aside, it should be a default color checked with that, right? So it's not stopping, so let's make it to stop. So that is nothing but the focus thing, FOCUS, focus. Okay, let's open and close, and on this I want to put the color where as green. Okay, let's save this, and now we'll just change with that. Okay, so you can see on hover it's becoming orange. Let me click on it so you can see the green color, right? If you want to make it to red, let's make that red, because green is not visible much. Red, refresh, orange. Let me click on it, it will become red, and it is still red. Okay, because it is focused on that. That's it. And if you click outside, it will change. Done. So this is about the focus thing. So guys, these are the basics of our a tag. So let's now start with the another card where I'll just show with the other things about the CSS designing. So this was the one. So we are going to use the section and the container same, because we have globally defined that. So guys, let's copy that. Okay, and let me just minimize with this. Okay, so let's copy and place it again. Done. And now we will see the difference, what the things we want it. So let me just give h1 tag and heading 2. I will assign with this, and let's refresh. So you can see the background is same, and I don't want the section 2, section 1, this section to be background as this same as above. We want to make different. So guys, what the option is that we have to create one global thing about the background things. So let me go to top. As you can see that section class which is assigned, it has a background light, right? And let's cut this, Control X, and create a global variable, global class like bg gray, you can tell, where we will add this color. So same way you can add .bg white and add the background color and make it to #FFF, which is white color. Done. So the same, you have to copy this class and include in this section. So this will become with the section of this padding with the and the color will be background gray. Okay, so for this background white, we'll copy this and paste for this background. That's it. So this is how we start with the CSS utilization. So this was the aim of making two section and showing you. So how can we use it with this? So guys, you have learned two things now. So guys, now in this second section, which we are going to use this heading as in center and all this text into a center and create one button. So 3 tasks we are going to complete. So guys, now let's start with the simple card design. So let me just create one card -2. So this will be my card 2. Okay, card is already used, so we are going to create one card too. So inside this card we are going to just design with the simple border and some padding. So let's tell this as comment as section 2. Okay, so this is my section 2 which we are going to start in it. So let's give the card2 dot card2 class, where I'm going to assign the border 1 pixel solid hyphen, or else you can just mention gray, and then just give a padding of top and right which will be 14 pixel and bottom and left which will be 14 pixel. So this is in this way also you can just explain. So this is the another format of padding. So top right, bottom left. Let's control R, you can see the output of it. So let's just use this card heading, heading thing into your this. Done. And now guys, which we want this inside the card to, whatever the things are there, you are going to assign that. So let me just give paragraph, and we are going to use one simple underline also. So let me create one underline, and yes, so this will be the underline class. And guys, we want some paragraph, so let me just copy content from here. Okay, so let's ignore that and paste over here, and one simple button. So either you can create in a tag or else one button tag also. We'll tell this as view all. This will make a button. Let's save, and this is the output. Done. So guys, now let us make this as button, and these things are to be in text align center. So let's get back, and over here with the help of card2 class, let's copy this and let's assign the card2, and where you are going to call the heading 1. Okay, so this h1 is aligned over here. So this is the h1 that you are calling that class. So let's give font size first. Font size, I want to make it 26 pixel, either bigger or smaller. And then we are going to give text align center. Okay, this will be center. Let's save and see the output. So you can see that the heading has moved to center, and same way you can give the color. So let me just give color, where we'll make it to green, and let me just make it to small. Not in this way, you can just use another format like text styling thing for uppercase, but let's make it here. Let's see. Okay, so green has changed. And now guys, I want the underline one. Below this I want to create one underline, separate margin. Okay, not like this, in another format. So let's copy this underline class and call your card. So inside your card 2, which is second class, okay, underline, and in that we are going to do the code for it. So now guys, what you'll do, let's create one height, HIGHT height, where 4 pixel, and width will be, okay, let's make it to 20% or 20 pixel you can keep. So let's keep it to pixel. And then margin top and bottom, I need margin top which will be like 16 pixel, and then margin bottom, BOTTON bottom, 16 pixel. So guys, now let's give one background color for this. Background color, okay, red. Done. Let's save and see the output for it. So let me just show you. Okay, so it is over here. So let's make this in center. So how will you make this center? So we have an option called margin right and left, which will make it auto. So I'll just tell you that margin right, where is auto, and then again copy and paste and make this right to left. Okay, so the right and the left which will become margin auto, and let me just refresh so you can see the difference. So guys, this is how we make the things into center and the div tags into center and the margin about the design. So let me just make it to 40 pixel. Let's refresh. It's cool. So guys, and now let's pick this paragraph tag which is about make it in center. So let's get back, and now guys, we have already used the p tag, right? So you can utilize in this format also, or else let's create a global variable. Okay, so global class, for example, dot text center. So this is one of the bootstrap classes are also available. So I'll just explain with that. So text align, which is center. And now we will copy this text center and then copy and paste inside the p tag. Let's give and paste. That's it. So now guys, what we have to do, let us just get back to Chrome and refresh. So you can see that everything is aligned over here in center. So this is how we are using the global classes to clear everywhere the text center. Cool. So guys, now let's go back and create one button. So as we are discussed, so let's create a global button. So let me just move on it and let's create .button button, where you can copy this class and assign into your this a tag. So wherever you want in a b tag or button tag or input tag, you just assign this class called button. Done. And now let us just move with this and see the output. So there is no difference. So now let's create this button code. So okay, so first let's set the background color. I want this as black. Okay, let's make it to black, and then this color will be white. So color where hash FFF, and then let's give a padding where we'll make it 10 pixel and 16 pixel. Done. And now over here we'll create one small border if you want, or else make it to border none. So let's make it none. Anywhere if you create a border, like if you use a button tag, the border default will be there, so you can just ignore with that. Let's save and see the output of it. So you can see a button is created. So when you hover on this, you can see other color. So what I want on hover also, it should be white text and the background color should change it little another color. So what you can do, just copy the same class and paste with that. Okay, and just tell hover, on hover I want to make it color where light gray will use it. Okay, light gray, and inside this light gray we will add that. So let me just check with this, refresh, you can see that light gray is coming. Cool. So this is how you can make a button with that. So guys, now what I want this button to be little small size, this font of it, and then this button to be in center. So guys, let's move with that and complete that. So as you can see, where we have to add inside this font size, where you can tell the 14 pixel, and this will be the font size. So let me just refresh, the button has font is small. So guys, now let's make this button in center. So how will you make that? So you can either assign this, or else let's call this inside the thing. Okay, so for that, let's copy this, and you need to create a div tag. So because text align doesn't come within this, so we have to assign that text hyphen center. Okay, so same class you are going to call, which you have created for text align, and let's cut this and paste into the above thing. Okay, your text center thing. So let's save, and now let us check the output. Cool. So this is how we are assigning with this. So guys, we have done with this card thing and what are the basics of CSS. So guys, now let's get started with the form design, where we will be doing about the input things. So whatever the input box we are getting, and the labels and the text area and the button, so we will be implementing that. So guys, first we have to create a skeleton for that. So let's start with that. So as simple as I required the container and the section I required, so let me use that thing and add it over here. So I'm not going to use any background in this section. Okay, and let's end this section and let's paste that. So as you know, this section and container we have given that already. Okay, and now let us refresh over here. You can see that default is there. So it's not visible, but let's design the structure for it. So first guys, I'm going to tell as contact form, where this div I'm going to create, and inside this contact form I'll create a form. Okay, so inside this form, let me just this remove, and just form tag will be there. Done. So now we have to add that label. So before adding label, I want to divide those input boxes. So let's use form form group. So we are going to use this div tag form form. Okay, and inside this one label will be there, and inside this label I'm going to tell as full name. Then go below and create one input box, where input box and your placeholder you can add full name. Okay, if you want to add a class and design, you can proceed with it, but not required. We will follow with these things. So many things I'll just will proceed with that. So guys, now let's save this, and let me just copy and repaste it again to change to make a contact form. So let's make it this as full name 2, where we'll tell this as phone number, and the one more input name will make this as email, and then you are going to create a subject. Done, or else not required, we'll just proceed with other things. So this will be a message. Okay, so we'll remove that subject, and here we are going to create a text area. So let me just make it a little bigger so you can see that. Let's add text area, where you're not going to use all the things. We'll just remove that. Only I'm going to add rows. So these rows will make it to 3, and this 3 will help you to create the things about the size. So let me just refresh and show you. So you can see that 3 is this font size, and now if I increase that to 5, it will be little bigger from now. So let me just refresh. You can see it's more bigger, right? So let me just make it to 3, and the button, one button we are going to create. So let's give that form group, and inside this group we have to create a button. So button button, which is like send message. Okay, and here this button will be class, which button we have already created, as this we have created for this view all. So same class we are going to use. So already we have created class called button. So let us save, and you can check the output. So you can see the send button. So this structure is looking too ugly. Okay, so let's make it beautiful and design the form. So let's get started with it. So first we will take this contact form and create that. So let us go below and tell this as this is for the section, and let's tell section. Okay, and let's start with the new one, which is about our contact form. So contact form, where you are going to start with this. So let's place the class inside with the help of dot, and this dot will call you. Okay, if you are confused with this, let's use id over here. Okay, so let's call that as id. Let's paste here id, and this will be assigned with the id. Done. And now guys, we will tell that we need one padding as, let's type 20 pixel, and then you can just give a border for this 2 pixel solid, where I'm going to tell gray, and inside this border radius of 10 pixel I'll just give. Okay, and why is this for used over here? So let's just remove control dd and just remove not required right now. So you'll be learning later what is that for and all. So let's ignore that, and let's see the output right now. Okay, so this is the form right now, and let's design this label and the input boxes. So let's get started with it. As simple, let's copy this class contact form. This is id, so you have to use hash over there. So let's put hash, and now inside this I am going to tell that form group. So that is dot, where form group you are going to call. So inside this form group you have to call the coding for it. So padding bottom, so we have to type that padding hyphen bottom. Okay, so padding bottom, what will give 16 pixel. Okay, and now let us just text paste that for this also. So let's copy the same format. Let us copy this and remove this code and add the label. So let me just add the label label. Okay, so this label one, which will we have to fetch. So after this you'll call your to save as display block. Okay, so display block block where you are going to assign this. So let me just refresh and show you the output. So you can see that guys, it's under one line, right? And now let's design this input box also. As simple, let's get back and let's go below and call your contact form which we have given the ID name as contact form, and then you are going to call the input box. Inside this input box, whatever you call, it will be applied to everything. Okay, so same way what you have to do, just call one more thing which will reflect for every. So let me just show with the demo. Let's set that width where I'm going to call this as 100%, and then let's give a padding for it. So where I'm going to give 0.375 rem space 0.75 rem. Okay, so this will be my padding number. Okay, so let's just give, and then we'll give a font size for this. Font size which will be 1 rem, and then font weight for this 400, and then line height I am going to give line height which is 1.5, and then one color we will define to it. So color we can give by your custom. So I have one color code for this which is little grayish type in the black, and you can set this background color to white. So just give F white color, and if you require border also, so let's add the border 1 pixel solid, where I'll just make this CEDF4DA. So this is one almost grayish light gray color, where and one border radius. So I just want to add this where 0.25 rem I will add. Okay, so let me just comment this border radius and I'll show the output. Let's refresh. So you can see the output is coming, right? So why this black color is coming? Because this is the outline thing which is coming right now. So for this you can just comment that with that outline which is none. Okay, so if you give none, by default it's given by Google Chrome. So if you click on it, so you can see that nothing is coming, that dot thing. So same way, and then you can adjust with this. So guys, let me just paste that, and let's decrease the let's click on this, and let's decrease to this with 98%. Refresh, and then according to your requirement you can design. So this is a simple thing, and now your text message box is not coming. So for this, let us just see what is the difference. So as you can see that this is the input form tag. Okay, so this is input. Right now you are working with this. Okay, but this is the text area. So how will you set this? So let's pass that also in the same condition. Let's give comma and tell that I am going in text area. Okay, simple. Let's save this, and you can see the output for this also. Cool. So same output you are getting. Now we require this border radius. So let me just uncomment and let's give Control R. So there is a light corner sharp bended. Okay, so given a radius for it. So guys, now I just wanted to tell one more thing which you can see that if you type email over here. Okay, so this is email where input type, and over here you can see no difference. But I will just tell you one thing. When you're going to input, where you're going to insert with the array, and then tell type is equal to double quotes, inside that double quotes you're going to type text. Let's save this, reload the page. So you can see that text value has the increment designed, and then email value didn't, because you have given that text type as email, right? So this way you can utilize. So let me just copy this and then give comma and insert that, and let's mention that email, and in case of password, so give password. So let's save and see the output. Done. So guys, these are the few things about the form required in CSS. So we have completed with this, and now as you can see the send message also is there. You want to make this as cursor, okay? So on the hover it should show a finger point, right? So how will you make that? As simple, let's go to button. Where is the button? This is the button class, right? So let's go to the button class. Where is our global class? At the top it's over here, button. So let's tell that cursor pointer, cursor colon pointer. Save, refresh, and you can see that from normal mouse hover it's become a finger point, okay? So this is how you can check with the pointer thing. So guys, this is all about our contact form, and now we are going to start with the other topic, that is floats in CSS. So guys, let's get started with that. So what is that float and how it works, we will check with that. So guys, now in this we will make a two box for the sidebar and main content. So let's create that. So I want the section also, so let's copy that section. Let me just close this, and let's copy this section and container, and let's copy and paste this also. And now inside this container I want two sections to be divided. So for example, let us move with let's create called main sidebar, okay? So this will be the sidebar. Let's make it to ID, not required class, okay? So main main sidebar. And now over here let's copy this and make one more thing called main content. Done. And inside this, guys, let's paste some data, like I will just add p tag, or else required h tag also we can add that. So let's add that h6, where I will tell menu, okay? So this menu will be there, and some details of 1 2 3 4, okay? So these are the things. And now guys, let us just add one p tag inside this paragraph. So what are the contents? So let me just add this dummy contents. Let's copy this dummy and paste over here. So now let's refresh and check. Let's come over here, Control R, just refresh. So you can see these items are there, right? So as simple, I wanted to make this as this over here sidebar and this sidebar to be differentiated with this. So guys, let's get started. So how will you use in this float? So let's copy this ID called main sidebar and start with the CSS. Let's put a hash where main sidebar, where we are going to call the width that will be 30%. I'm going to call, and then padding I'm going to give 15 pixel. Right now we don't give padding, okay? So first we'll work on with the width, and let's copy and again mention that, and let's call this as main content. So let me just copy and replace with this main content, and we'll give this as 70 pixel, I mean 70%. And let's set a background for this, be background color, where I'm going to use hash 333, okay? Save it and let's refresh and see. So you can see that the black background color has come, okay? But the text are not visible, so let's make it to visible. So I'll just add a color white directly, hash FFF, save it, and you can see some changes. Cool. So as that, let us just, it's too small, so you can make it to big also by selecting Control D and just give 5, save, and you can see the output, okay? So it's fine now. So let's this color, this section, and this section, I want to be in the opposite, okay? So this will be at the first, and I want this content to be replaced right side of it. So let's make that. So for that we have to add float into it. So let's tell float left, okay? So this will float left. So right now it is left, and then over here you are going to add one more thing. So what you are going to add called float, FLOAT, float colon RIGHT, right? Save, and now let's refresh. So guys, now this both have come into opposite direction of it, right? So guys, now let's give some padding and little, I just want to make it down. So first let increase this margin bottom. Okay, so now let's go over here and let me just add a HR tag over here, horizontal row, and let me just refresh. You can see, okay, so it did not come down. Why? Because it's floating, so that you have to clear that. So guys, as you can see, this horizontal row has come under this, not below it like this. Okay, so let me just explain with that. So how will you move with it? So let's make a column called clear, class with the name clear, where you'll tell us clear colon both. Okay, both, and this class you are going to copy and make a div tag on this. So let's use div tag, where inside this you are going to assign the class as clear. Done. And now when you click on this, you can see the horizontal row down. So let's refresh and see. You can see that horizontal row, it's below. Cool. So this is how you can make with that. So let me right now, let's give a br tag, so the output will be at top. Okay, so now guys, let's continue this opposite direction one, and now let's get back where at the menu. Okay, CSS. So guys, now what I want to give the padding on this. So let's assign the padding, padding padding, which I want 15, or let's make it to 16 pixel. Save, and same padding for this also, bottom content. Let's save, and you can see the output. Okay, but it's coming opposite, right? Because the CSS got messed with that. Like here the bottom of width is too much, and here also the width is too much now because of padding. You have adjusted that. So to solve that, how will you make that? So I'll just give the CSS for that. So you need to type the box sizing. So let's give box sizing, where border hyphen box. Same thing you're going to copy and paste for the below also. So both of them box sizing, you have to make that. Let me just refresh, and you can see that its padding is correctly adjusted with the width. Cool. So this is how you can work on it. And now guys, let's continue. So this is all about our floats in CSS. So guys, now we'll be learning about the positioning in CSS. So what is positioning and how it works with that positioning. So let's continue with it. So guys, first we have to make one card. So let me design with card 2 or 3 we will give. So this is my card 3, where we are going to work with absolute. Now I want to give a h2 tag. Inside this I will type hello Wade and hello Om. Okay, let's save this. And now guys, we want this into a container. So let's copy our container thing. Where it is. Okay, so this is a container. I just want to make this in a container, so we'll copy this. Let's paste it, and let me just arrange with that. Done. Save, and I'll just show the output right now. What is the output for this? Okay, let's get back. You can see that hello Wade, hello Om. Okay, so let me just give one simple border, and I will explain you with that what we are, the absolute and relative about positioning in CSS. So let's just paste the card. Oops. Control V, and over here I'm going to give padding 10, make it to 20 pixel, and one border, 1 pixel solid hash 333, and then let's reload. You can see, right? So let me make some height for this. So let's give a height, 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 where I'm going to give 400 pixel. Save and reload. So you can see that everything is working fine. So guys, now I want this, make this as absolute, and then we have to change it. Okay, so let me just show you what is that absolute. So inside this card 3, we have to call the h2 tag. So let me call h2. Let me make this as h3. Okay, so this h3 value, we have to call it over here h3, and inside this I am going to call the code for position position, not relative, we have to make it absolute. And then now we will reload. So let's see. Okay, so there is no thing, right? So let us just give position absolute, and now here top 100 pixel. Let's check the output. Come here, and now let's refresh this. As simple, you can see that hello with is there, and what about the hello home? So that is at the top right now. As you can see, it's over here, hello home. See, as you can see that lightly it is coming, right? So this one we have to make it over here only. So how will you do that? Your absolute value of that hello home. So for that, what you have to do, you have to give a position relative in your card. Okay, so now let's give position, which is relative, and here this position relative will give reload. You can see that from the top it is coming, right? So this is how you check with that. So let me just assign with the left, where I will tell left, which is about 200 pixel. Let's save this, and now let me just show you the let's give semicolon and reload this page, so you can see the output of hello home. So this is how we work with the relative and the absolute in CSS positioning. Same. So now let's check out with the other thing, which is H1. Okay, so H2 this, sorry. So let us just call that. So let me just copy this and paste the same thing, and let's change it to H2. So this is H2, where I'm going to call inside the card tree H2, and now let's make this top to bottom. Okay, and then from left to, I'm going to call it right, 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 where 200 pixel. So let's see the value of width from here. So I'm going to reload. You can see that from bottom it is 100, and then from right it is 200. So let's make it a little lesser, where you can see 50 I'm giving, and over here also 50. Let's reload. You can see that side thing. So this and all comes in a game type, where you can use this, or a simple message purpose you can utilize this CSS. Okay, so this is all about the absolute and your relative in positioning. Okay, so one more thing which will be sticky about that. So like I want one button to be fixed over here. So that is positioning in CSS about static things, so fixed. So let me just create one simple button. So let's create a tag where I will tell contact us. Okay, and now here I will call the button class. So my button, which we have already defined in the global, as you saw in the beginning. Let me just refresh over here, so you can see that contact us. So what I want, this contact us, I want fixed at this side, okay, on this website. So let me just create a class called fix me. Okay, so we'll create a class with the fix me, or give hyphen fix me. Let's copy this, and now we will paste that. Let's create a class, and over here we will give position colon fixed. Okay, position fixed, and then about I want to call that on the top, where 300 pixel below. Okay, so let's save this, and now let us refresh. So right now, as you can see that it is below, so let me just refresh. You can see over here. So all over the website, wherever you scroll, this will be fixed at over here only. So this is how fixed works in our positioning. So guys, now let's move with another topic, which is all about that listing tags. So let me just create with that simple listing. I want to create one container again, and yes guys, so let me paste over here, and now inside this container we will check out with the UL tag. Okay, so let me call UL and LI tags. So this will be item 1, and same, or you can tell item list. So let's make it copy and paste, VVV, set, save, and reload. So let us scroll over here. You can see that this is the list. So guys, what I want to make this, I want to remove this dot symbol. So let's just work on it. So let me call over here, oops, let's give a class my item list. Okay, so let's copy this item class name and paste the class name with open curly and close curly braces. Okay, now over here you can give a border or background, anything. So let's just work on with this. So li tag, so inside this li tag, what I want, first list style we want to destroy. Okay, like make it to none. List style, where let me save, and you can see that it has that dot symbol has gone. So if you want that as a square also, you can move with that. Okay, square, if you give square, let's save and reload, you can see that from round to square it has become. So this is how you check out with this. And now I want to make this as little different. So how will you make this? So let me just give the bullet point, let it be, and let's copy and repaste again, where we are going to tell the first child. So first hyphen child child. Okay, so first child I want to make that in background color, or else you can give the color also for each. Let me set it to orange, where you can see that. So li first child means the first tag and the last child means last tag. So let us save and let's refresh. You can see that the first list is working like this. And same for this, if you make to last child, let me just show over here, copy and paste again, make it to last child, and let me make this as blue. Okay, save, and you can see that blue item, right? So this is the last item of blue. And now guys, we will see the specific things. I would just want to change the color on third list and fifth list. If you want in that way, so we can use the nth child of that. So you can call the nth child and paste that in that function. So let's give and tell over here nth, nth child function. So this will work with the function, and inside this function you are going to pass on the fourth number, and on the fourth number I want to be yellow. Save and refresh. You can see that on the first, second, third, on the fourth it is yellow because you have passed fourth data over here, right? So this is how you can manipulate with this. And now if you want to change with the order and even numbers, so you can call with the same function and paste, and you can just check with that order and odd and even numbers. So let's type even first and see, and let me remove this. Let's comment and keep it. Okay, so let us just reload. You can see that even numbers are just repeated with the LO. Okay, and what about the odd? You can just follow up with this, copy and paste, and you can tell ODD odd, where this odd number you want to be LIGHTJRY, light gray. Save, and you can see that this is how we work with li tags. So now let's create a navbar for our website. So let's get at the top, and at this top I want to create one small navbar. So let's begin with that. So let's go to top, and after your body tag we have to start with this. So let's begin with that, where you are going to call the header, and inside this header you will start coding with it. So guys, navbar is nothing but a navigation bar, which is also known as menu bar also. And yes guys, so let's continue over here. So we have created the header, and I want the container too. So let's copy that container and paste over here and end with that. Then inside this we have to create a nav. So let us type nav, where nav end is coming, and you will tag and li tag, and inside this li tag I want to type which is as home. Okay, let's paste and tell about us, which will be contact us, and one more thing which will create of that is services. Okay, so right now we have 4 tags, and one more thing which I wanted after the navbar, I want to make the logo of that. So either you can tell logo or you can mention navbar logo. Let's save this and see the output of it. So let's refresh. Okay, so you can see this, the structure of it. So guys, let's make this as navbar. Oops, let me just cancel with this. Cancel. And yep guys, what we have to do, first step, let's create one ID for this header. So not class, ID, where I will tell this as main header, and let's copy this and we have to place with the CSS inside this. So now I'm going to use hashtag for this hash symbol for main header, and inside this I will give a background color for it, background color, which will be hash 333. Save it and you can see the output now. So let's refresh, you can see the output right now. Okay, so now let's do for the navbar and everything. So let me just start coding with that. So let me assign the class for it, navbar, where this nav, I'll make this navbar. So this is my class, and for this a tag where I'm going to tell this as navbar logo, you can mention, or brand, whatever you can just save in your language. So let's copy this and then let's get continued. So first step, we will copy this navbar, where with the help of dot we are going to assign, and this will make the color of hash FFF. Save, and then let's call our navbar logo, which is the brand. And now inside this I will call the font size 20 pixel, color FFF, and I want to float this to left. Okay, so before floating, let us give padding first, padding top, which I want to give 14 pixel, and then bottom, which I want to give 14 pixel. Done. And yep guys, so let's give a margin right also. So from margin right side, it should be little far. Let's give 20 pixel, we'll make it to 30. Okay, 30 pixel. Let's save this and check the output. So you can see that navbar logo has come now, and over here your li tags. So let's set this perfectly to work with that. So now let's continue with the UL tag. Let's call this UL navbar. Inside navbar you're going to call the UL tag. So inside this UL tag, let's close that empty. Over here I'm going to call padding 0. Okay, not required. We need to first, we will remove the styling, that dot icons, which list style we want to none, and then give the padding top, which I want to 18 pixel, and then padding bottom also I required, which I want to give as 14 pixel. Okay, let's save this and then move with your li tag. So after this UL, let's move it li, where we'll mention same thing. You're going to copy, close, and inside this you're going to li. So now this, with this help of this tag, we are going to change this. So right now it's like this, right? So you can see I want to make one below, one beside another. So let's make that. How will you do that? So you can use this display inline code, display colon inline. Okay, save, and you can see the output of it. So you can see that. Okay, so you can see this, right? So let's just make this color as white. Right now it is black. So let me type that navbar, where ul li, inside li tag a tag. Okay, so this is the a tag. So navbar ul li a tag. Inside that a tag I want to give color FFF, which is refer as white, and I don't need text decoration, so you can remove the text decoration to none, and then the font size, which I want, should be 16 pixel. Okay, let's save and see the output. Let's reload. You can see the output, but it's too sticky, so I want to make them separate. So let's move in our li tag, where I will tell padding hyphen left, which is 14 pixel, and now control CV again and make it to right, RIGHT. Save and reload. You can see that difference. So guys, I want these two things to be opposite, okay, like it should be one opposite to other. So now let's just make that. So that is one Navbar logo and your UL tag. These both are there, right? So where is your, this is your Navbar logo and this is your UL tag, which we want to make it float. So let us give that. Let's type that as float, oops, FLOAT, float, where left, okay. Let's save this and let's see the output. I'm going to reload. So you can see that navbar has designed perfectly. So let's just change the color of this navbar, which will be logo, where color you're going to make it as orange. So let me make it to orange, save, and you can see the output. So this is how we make the navbar design. So guys, now there are some spaces at the top and bottom. So why it is that? Actually we didn't set that at the beginning. So just to make it confirm why it's coming, so let me add asterisk symbol and then give them margin where 0 and the padding 0. Okay, let's give this padding and margin 0. Let's refresh so you can see the output. So it's looking cool. So that's it in this video, guys. If you have any doubt or queries, put them in the comment box. That's it in this CSS crash course, guys. So please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you once again.